let's talk about related facts. Related facts are equations that all belong in the same family. So they're going to have operations that are inverse to each other, and they're going to use all the same numbers to get there. So let me show you what I mean by that. Here for this first one, I have 3 plus 5 equals 8. And then I'm going to ask myself, are there any other equations that could use those same numbers? Could I add 3 and 5 in a different order? Well, we know for addition I can reverse the order. So for 3 plus 5 equals 8, I could also write it as 5 plus 3 equals 8. Those are related facts. They use the same numbers and they make equations that are true. Since I'm working with addition, I can also think about the inverse or opposite of addition, which we know is subtraction. So I can think of subtraction facts that also use just those same three numbers, 5, 3, and 8. So to do that, I'm going to start with the sum from my addition equations. I'm going to start with the 8 and then subtract one of the add-ins that I use. So I can say 8 minus 5 equals 3. And then I could again start with the 8 since that was the sum for my addition equation. And instead of subtracting 5, this time I'll subtract 3. 8 minus 3 equals 5. As you can see, for these four equations, they all use the same numbers, and they all make true equations. I did this by using the same numbers and starting with my addition facts and then thinking about my inverse operation, which is subtraction. We can do the exact same thing over here for multiplication. I have 4 times 7 equals 28. And just like for addition, I can reverse the numbers I started with. So for this one, instead of reversing the add-ins, I'm going to reverse the factors. 7 times 4 equals 28. And then I can think of the inverse of multiplication, or the opposite. The opposite of multiplication is division, and I'll start with my product, 28, and then I'll divide it by one of my factors, divide it by 7 to get 4, or I can use 28 and divide it by 4 to get 7. Again, I have a set of related facts. Sometimes we call them fact families. They use the same three numbers, and they use inverse operations to create true equations. So I want to show you the strategy you can use to easily find all the inverse operations or all of the related facts. And the strategy we use is called the triangle strategy. For the triangle strategy, I'm going to put the two pieces at the bottom and the total at the top. So for this equation, 16 plus 5 equals 21. I'm combining 16 and 5 to get 21. I'm going to put the pieces at the bottom and the total at the top. So since I have one addition equation, 16 plus 5, I know I can also find the other addition equation, which instead of starting with 16 and then adding 5, I can start with 5 and then add 16. 5 plus 16 equals 21. So I found the two addition equations, and now I have to find the subtraction equations. For that, I'm going to start with that total up here at the top, and then I'm going to subtract by going down the triangle. 21 minus 16 equals 5. And then I can go down the opposite side. I can again start with 21, but I'm going to go down the opposite side of the triangle, and I'm going to say 21 minus 5 equals 16. So this is how you use the triangle strategy. Notice I'm going to add or combine the two pieces here at the bottom to get the number at the top, or I'm going to start with the top number and then take away one of the pieces at the bottom to get the other one. It works the same way for multiplication. We can start by setting up our triangle. Oops, I'm going to try that one again. We can start by setting up our triangle and put on the information we have. For this one, instead of adding, I'm multiplying. And the two pieces I'm multiplying 37 times 14. So those will go at the bottom. And then at the top, I'm going to put the product, or what they equal. For this problem, we aren't told what they equal. They're giving us a mystery number, or an unknown value, as it's called. When you get further into math in 6th and 7th and 8th grade, you're going to start to hear the term variable or unknown, and sometimes that's represented by a letter. But it's the same thing. It's just an unknown value. All right, so we know they multiplied 37 times 14 to get to our mystery number. We can also multiply in the opposite direction. So I could take 14 times 37 to get to the mystery number. So those are the two multiplication equations we can make. We can also think in terms of the inverse operation, or the opposite of multiplication. We know the opposite of multiplication is division. So for that, we're going to start again at the top. We're going to start with that mystery number, or the total that we have. And then we're going to go down the side of the triangle to divide by one of the bottom pieces. So in this case, we can divide by 37 by going down, which gives us 14. And then we can do the same thing, but going down the opposite side. Start with that mystery number, go down the opposite side of the triangle to divide by 14, which gives us 37. So this is the triangle strategy for finding related facts. Let's try one more so that you can get really solid with the strategy. For this one, we're doing 82 divided by an unknown value equals 41. And again, we're going to start by setting up our triangle. For this one, you can see it didn't start with the two pieces we're multiplying together, but rather it started with the amount we're dividing. We're starting with 82 and then dividing by that unknown value. So when we're dividing, we always put what we're dividing by at the top. And we can think, okay, I'm going down the side of the triangle. 82 divided by a mystery number is 41. We could use the triangle to put that information on. So we went dividing down one side of the triangle, because that's the equation they gave us. Let's now go down the other side of the triangle, starting with 82 and dividing by 41. 82 divided by 41 equals the unknown value. I'll put our division sign since we did that. All right, we did our two division facts. Now we're going to move on to our inverse operation. And the opposite of division is multiplication. I can start down here at the bottom. I've got these two factors. I can start by multiplying my mystery number times 41. We can say mystery number times 41 equals 82. And then we can always multiply the opposite direction. 41 times the unknown value equals 82. Oops. And that's our strategy. Here are what the questions you're going to see will look like. Let's practice using the strategy to solve the questions when they give us multiple choice answers. So for this question, it says, which equation has the same unknown value? Remember, unknown value means whatever this box or the question mark is, or if you're into more complex math, sometimes they'll give you a letter, like X or K. Regardless, we can still keep using our triangle strategy to think through the data they've given us. Since our equation here is a division equation, I know my starting number is going to go at the top, 275, and I'm going to go dividing down the side. 275 divided by an unknown value equals 25. Now my information is on the triangle, and I can use it to start looking at each of the options down here. My strategy is going to be to look at the options, find out if there's a part of it that can't be true, and then cross off any equations that don't follow the rules of the triangle we've built for these related facts. So let's start here with A. We have 275 times 25 equals the unknown value. I know if I'm multiplying that I should be looking at the two numbers at the bottom of my triangle, which we are not. Those two numbers would be the mystery number and 25. This one is starting with 25, which should only happen for division. I know this number is wrong, which means this answer can't be correct. Let's look at the next one. Mystery number divided by 275 equals 25. If I'm dividing, I should be starting with my top number. But this one doesn't. It starts with my mystery number. The division fact should start with the top of my triangle. So this mystery number tells me that B is wrong. Let's keep going. C says mystery number times 25 equals 275. Since I'm multiplying, I should be starting with the two numbers at the bottom. And we are. Mystery number times 25 equals 275. That one looks pretty good. I'm going to put an M for maybe. I'm going to check that last one to see if it's the best option or if C is my best option. Let's look at D. D says 25 times 275 equals the mystery number. They're telling me to multiply, and so I should be using my two bottom numbers. Oh, but I'm not. 275 is on top. That one is not correct. I only have one answer that follows the rules, and it is answer C. Now you try. Set up your triangle and put your information on the triangle. Then go piece by piece to decide which one could be correct. I'm going to ask you to pause the video and try it on your own, and then restart the video when you have found your answer. Afterwards, I will show my work on the screen so you can see if you are correct or hopefully spot your errors. Go ahead and pause. All right, go ahead and take a look at my work. If you didn't find the correct answer, double check that your triangle is correct. Did you put the information on in the right way? Then take a look at the pieces that I underlined in yellow. Those were the pieces that made me go, I know that this one is wrong. This can't be where it's at. Take a look. See if that helps you understand your mistake. All right, one last question. I'm going to ask you to try this one on your own as well. Set up your triangle, put the information on your triangle, and then cross off any equations that don't make sense based on the information in your triangle. Please pause the video and restart it to check your work when you're done. Okay, compare your work. Did you find the right answer? Again, if you didn't have the right answer, please check the triangle to make sure you put your data in the right spot, and then look at the numbers I underlined in yellow. I underlined them because it was a clue to me that those were the incorrect pieces of information. As a wrap-up, let's review our strategy for related facts. First, put your info on the triangle. Remember, when you're multiplying, your factors go on the bottom, and when you're dividing, you start with the first number of your division equation at the top of the triangle. Then, consider each option to see if it follows the rules. Finally, cross out any incorrect options. Anything that you're left with must be the correct option. Thanks for working with me. You can now move on to your practice work.